very much. City Council Smoke-Free 2025 Action Plan. That's come from Social and Community Development. Phil Clearwater.
So yeah, that's been really successful actually, because in terms of the developments of what has been started with Smoke-Free Day and has continued annually. But councillors will recall that back in 2014, many of you will, we set up or asked for smoke-free conditions in our social housing, and really the smoke-free action plan has developed since then. And the most recent work has been the voluntary smoke-free outdoor dining areas, and Councillor Livingston might like to comment on that later, because that's gone especially well. And actually the day we had our meeting was Smoke-Free Day, and Councillor Turner and Councillor Livingston spoke at the Sign of the Kiwi. It was a good partnership with the Cancer Society and the Smoke-Free program.
Yep. So you'd like to move that?
I'll move that item.
Glenn seconded. Yep. Is there any discussion?
Could if I make
Glenn?
a few? Yes, just following on from Philip, it was a good day in terms of the trial over smoke-free outdoor dining being released, which overwhelmingly demonstrated a success for business. So I think that we can say they're adding kind of social and environmental bottom lines to business now. That's certainly overcome any initial fear that non-smoking would be banned for a business. So that's tremendous. We talked about data before. That's more data to have in terms of that. I think it's also important to know that Christchurch City is seen as taking a real lead on this, so it's having a domino effect on other councils around the country. They're also following suit, and we're all working together towards arriving at the Smoke-Free 2025 Aotearoa goal, which will be here probably before we, pretty quickly. The one thing which I think the action plan notes, though, it's about providing a voluntary environment, so not a regulatory. I think that would definitely be a second option. So it's voluntary in all this. We're not looking at bylaws. So I think that's part of the power of it, that we've got this buy-in, obviously throughout who we are as council, but also in the private sector. There's real momentum gathering over that as well. So I encourage you all to support this.
Good. Aaron.
Yeah, I'll just draw people's attention to point 5 there, where the committee had requested staff to come back with considerations around a campaign to address cigarette butts in public places. I don't know for the rest of you, but that certainly gets raised with me from time to time when people see cars stopped at traffic lights especially, and people finish smoking and flick their cigarette butt out a window. That makes its way into our waterways. If you extrapolate out the percentage of people who smoke and the amount they have, and they often drop their butts in public places, that's millions of cigarette butts per year going into our waterways. So if we can get a solution to that, I think the rest of the world may start to copy us, although I think Singapore might have it already sewn up. But that for me would be a big win if we can get towards people just thinking about it a bit more and being more responsible with those cigarette butts. A lot of businesses in the city already are. I noticed with a lot of the new factories built where they allow staff to smoke outside, they have those tin boxes that you stub your thing out and put it in. We don't put them in any places ourselves that I know of. Maybe we should, and that could be a way forward.
Yeah, we used to. Mike and then Andrew.
Thanks, and I'm just going to follow up a little bit what Aaron's saying, because I totally support this goal. I think it's really actually important, but when we look at the cigarette butts, I do a lot of regular walking around the city, and actually one of the worst places I see is around the hospital. Obviously the hospital has banned smoking on the ground, so everyone's actually going onto the footpath outside the hospital grounds and putting all their cigarettes there, and it's just filling up the gutters and obviously ending in our waterways. So I think we really need to look at what we're doing to actually eliminate that type of rubbish getting into our waterways.
Andrew.
Reference was made to the event at the Sign of the Kiwi on the eve of the meeting of Phil's committee, and it was a pleasure to be there. I think it was particularly appropriate that that event happened on the eve of Smoke-Free Day, and that Phil's committee had the discussion that's led to these resolutions on Smoke-Free Day. Certainly the partnership between Community and Public Health, District Health Board and the Cancer Society Council has been a successful one, is something that the CHED Committee in the last term of Council certainly was very proactive around, and it's great to see Phil's Committee continuing that good work and further progressing that good work. The key message from the event at the Sign of the Kiwi was that at the start of the outdoor dining trial, there were certainly some that were claiming that outdoor smoke-free areas would be bad for business. Exactly the opposite has turned out to be the case. In fact, there are some of the businesses that took part in that trial who have seen a reasonably significant uplift in business as a result of those outdoor areas being smoke-free. So it's good to see this work continuing, something I'm supportive of, and I expect that this will be well supported today.
Thank you. All right, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.